Hello friends, my name is Deepak Sharma and today we discuss about the basic concepts of turbo machines. So let's start. First of all, we discuss about the introduction of turbo machinery. A turbo machine is basically a rotating machine. The rotating wheel is called a rotor, runner or impeller. The rotor will be immersed in a fluid continuum. The fluid medium can be gas, steam, water or air. Energy takes place either. Now, now we discuss about the definition of turbo machine. The figure shows the turbo machine. A turbo machine is defined as a device that extracts or imparts mechanical energy in the form of shaft work transferred either to or from a continuous flowing fluid by the dynamic action of rotating blade rows. The interaction between the fluid and the turbo machine blades also results in fluid dynamic lift. A turbo machine produces changes in enthalpy of the fluid passing through it. Now we discuss about the principal components of turbo machine. The following are the main parts of a turbo machine. First is rotor. It is a rotating part of the turbo machine and fixed with blades or vanes. Guide blade or nozzle. Nozzle is a pipe or tube of varying cross section which is used to direct or modify the flow of fluid. It is a stationary element and is arranged depend upon kind of flow required. Third is shaft. Shafts may be input, output or both depending upon the type of turbo machine. Example, power absorbing turbo machine input shaft, power generating turbo machine output shaft, power transmitting turbo machines both input and output shaft. Casing. Fourth is casing. Casing restricts the fluid so that it flows in a definite shape and does not escape in direction other than those required for energy transfer. It is not the essential part of every turbo machine. Draft tube. It is a tube added to the outfall of a turbo machine for increasing energy production. Diffuser is a passage with increase in a cross-sectional area in direction of fluid flow and situated at the outlet of a compressor. It converts kinetic energy into static pressure head. Now we discuss about the classification. A turbo machine can be classified on the following basis. First, on the basis of direction of energy. First, compressor, pump and blowers. These are the power absorbed to increase the fluid pressure or increase the fluid pressure or head. Steam, gas or hydraulic turbines. They produce power by extracting energy or expanding fluid to a lower pressure or head. Second, on the basis of direction of flow through the rotating impeller. Axial flow turbo machine. In this type of turbo machine, the path of fluid flow is parallel to the axis of rotation. Example, Kaplan turbine. Radial flow turbine machine. In this type of turbo machine, the path of fluid is perpendicular to the axis of rotation. Example, centrifugal pump. Third is mixed flow turbo machine. In this type of turbo machine, the fluid flow is partially axial and radial and hence combines the advantage of both radial and axial type. Example, Francis turbine. Now see, on the basis of change in pressure. Impulse turbo machine. In this type of classification, there are two types of turbo machine. First is impulse turbo machine and second one is reaction turbo machine. So first we discuss about brief introduction about the impulse turbo machine. In this type of turbo machine, there is no change in pressure of fluid in the turbine blades. Nozzles and moving blades are in series in this type of turbo machine. Example, Pelton turbine. Then second is reaction turbo machine. The change in pressure of fluid takes place as it passes through the turbine chamber. The reaction turbo machine develops torque by reacting to the fluid's pressure or mass. Example, Francis turbine and steam turbine. Next classification is on the basis of fluid used. In this type of classification, again there are two types of turbo machine. One is pump and the other is compressor. The turbo machine transferring mechanical energy of rotor to the energy of fluid is known as pump, and the fluid used in pump is liquid, mostly used liquid by the turbines or producing power is water. Compressor. The purpose of using compressor, fan, blower is same as the pump, but the fluid used in this type of turbo machine is gas. Now next is on the basis of structure or design. There are again two types: open or extended machines like fan, windmill; closed machines like pump, compressor, turbines. Now we discuss about the basic laws and governing equations of a turbo machine. The basic laws of thermodynamics and fluid mechanics are used in turbo machines are as follows. First, continuity equation. This works on the principle of conservation of mass. When the fluid is in motion, it moves in such a way that the mass is conserved. Principle of conservation of mass is following. That means it's the product of rho a v. Rho is the density, a is the area of cross section, and v is the velocity of the fluid. The product of three is always be constant. So we can say that at entry or at exit, rho 1 a1 v1 is always be equal to the rho 2 a2 v2, where rho 1 rho 2 are the mass density, a1 a2 is the cross section area at inlet and outlet respectively, and v1 v2 are the velocity of flow at inlet and outlet respectively. Second is steady flow energy equation. The steady flow energy equation is obtained when first law of thermodynamics is applied to control volume. According to first law of thermodynamics, it states that energy can neither be created nor destroyed. It is also known as the law of conservation of energy. The general equation of steady flow energy equation is shown by the equation number 1, and the figure shows the steady flow energy process for a control volume. In turbo machine, the flow rate of working fluid is quite high and the available surface area of heat transfer is very small. So the process may be used to be adiabatic. So from adiabatic process, the net heat transfer Q is equals to 0. And also applying all other conditions, got the following equations for turbo machine, which are shown by the equation number 2, equation number 3, equation number 4, 5, and last, when neglecting the kinetic energy, we get the final equation, that is equation number 6. Now we discuss about the second law of thermodynamics applied to turbo machine. This law states that the entropy change is 0 for a liquid undergoing a reversible adiabatic process. If the fluid is undergoing an adiabatic process, then its entropy increases from inlet to exit. Because of increase in entropy, power developed by a turbine is less than the ideal isentropic power developed from second law of thermodynamics. Equation number shows the entropy law from first law of thermodynamics. Q minus W is equals to m u2 dash minus u1 dash. So we can say that delta Q is equals to delta W is equals to du, or ds into T is equals to delta W plus delta U. So we by using the above relations, we get the equation TdS is equals to PdV plus delta U dash. That is the equation of second law of thermodynamics, which is applied to turbo machine. Again, we further introduce some new relations and get the final equation of second law of thermodynamics, which is applied to turbo machine, which is shown by the equation number 9. Now, fourth law, that is Newton's second law of motion applied to turbo machine. According to this law, the sum of all the forces acting on a control volume in a particular direction is equal to the rate of changes of momentum of the fluid across the control volume in the same direction. The figure shows that how second law of Newton applied to turbo machine. In turbo machine, the impeller are rotating and the power output is expressed as the product of torque and angular momentum, which is the prime parameter. Now consider a fluid particle moving across a control volume as shown in the above figure. The fluid particle travels from point A to point B while simultaneously moving from a radius r1 to radius r2. If cx1 and cx2 are the components of absolute velocity in the tangential direction, the sum of all the torques acting on the system is equal to the rate of change of angular momentum. Equation number 10 shows the relation between torque and the velocity, which is summation of torque is equals to m r2 cx2 minus r1 cx1. If the machine revolves with an angular velocity omega, then power that means work done per second, is developed by tau into omega, which is equals to m omega r2 cx2 minus m omega r1 cx1, as shown by the equation number 11. But we know that if angular velocity can be converted into linear velocity, that is omega r is equals to u. So if the u is the impeller tangential velocity, then we can replace omega r is omega r by u, as shown in the equation number 12, which is equals to w is equals to m u2 cx2 minus u1 cx1. This equation is known as the general form of Euler's equation. So by this general form of Euler equation, we can obtain the following equations as shown in equation number 13 and 14. Equation number 13 is the Euler's turbine equation, in which w is equals to m u1 cx1 minus u2 cx2 is greater than 0, and in equation number 14 shows the Euler's pump equation, in which work done is equals to work done per second is equals to m u2 cx2 minus u1 cx1, which is less than 0. Thank you.